Over the next 25 days, or maybe over the next 4 weeks, I am going to be talking about one key resource per day. So I'm going to be talking about 25 principles. I'm going to be discussing 25 principles in the next 4 weeks. So every day we're going to have a broadcast on one principle. So be sure to join me live every single day for the next 4 weeks. For those of you who want to be a part of the Private Transformation Network or who want to be a part of what we're doing, this is a fundamental series that you cannot afford to miss. Now, what are we talking about today? In order for you to be successful in life, there are certain things that you must pay attention to. There are certain principles that you must pay attention to. And today, what I want to do is that I want to introduce those principles one at a time. But today what I want to do is that I just want to give you a very high level overview. Now, understand this. In order for you to be successful in life, whatever it is that you want to do, there are certain raw materials that you've been given. A lot of times, many of us do not even know the kinds of resources, the wealth of resources that we have available for us. If you ask the average person that what are your dreams? What are your aspirations? What is it that you want to do with your business? Most people will be like, oh, well, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough resources. I need a loan. I need this and that. But there's one ingredient that we all have across the board, and it's called time. Time is a resource that we all have evenly across the board, and unfortunately many of us do not even recognize that time has the capacity to produce money. Time has the capacity to produce additional resources. It doesn't matter what you need, if it is people, human capital that you need, if it is financial capital that you need, if it is natural capital that you need, whatever it is that you need. Time has the ability to help you produce that. The only time that you've run out, the only situation when you've run out of options is when you have run out of time. And that means that your time on earth is done. But as long as you still have life, as long as you still have your health, as long as you still have breath in your lungs, you have a chance to make a difference. So let's talk about the resources that you have available. A lot of times people want to get into one business or the other, but they are not able to get there simply because that they don't believe that they have enough resources. But let me tell you something. You are never in a position in life where you don't have what it takes to go from where you are to where you need to be. The only difference is that you just need to identify the next step. You just need to know what is the next thing I need to do. And the next thing can come in the form of a person, can come in the form of an opportunity, can come in the form of financial resources, can come in the form that you probably did not even think about. So that's why it's important to think outside of the box. Now, in the next 25 days or in the next 4 weeks, I'm going to focus more on talking to you about creating the mindset that is necessary for you to succeed. Because until you are able to start seeing, you will not be able to start going. What does that mean? Until you know where you are going, until you can see a picture of the destination, your journey will never begin. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have all the answers on how to get from point A to point Z. I'm simply saying that you need to know where you are going, meaning you must know the end point. You must know what the picture of your destination looks like. You must have an idea as to where it is that you want to go. And then that allows you to do a fundamental analysis of where you are to determine what are the things that you need in order for you to start going from where you are to where you need to go. So it is critical that you join me in the next 4 weeks. I will try to make these very, very short, maximum 5 to 10 minutes per day, 5 to 10 minutes per day, so that we can be able to extensively discuss one topic per day. Because until you understand these 5 or 25 fundamental principles, you will not be able to maximize the potentials that you have. All right. So now, what are the things that you need the most? The most important thing that you need to succeed in anything in life is information. You need knowledge, you need insight, you need people who know how to get from point A to point Z. And I am doing this because of you, because I want to see you become a success. Now, when this year began, every year I tend to sit down and analyze and ask myself questions as to what it is that I want to see my future become. And and this year, what I realized I needed to do was to start teaching you the things that work for me. I'm not talking about I'm talking about the things, the principles that I live by personally. What are the principles that I personally live by? So please be sure to join me every single day for the next 4 weeks as we begin this series on discovering the things that you need to know. This series that focuses on how you can structure your resources for maximum impact. But today I am just going to give you one. What is this one we're talking about? We're talking about how to manage your time. Let's discuss this for 1 minute. If you wake up every day, you have 24 hours. You have 24 hours per day. And most people have, well, let me not say most people. I think I'm exaggerating now. People who want to be successful have something called a schedule or a plan for their day. Now, for those of you who already have a plan for your day, then it is important for you to ask yourself this question. Are you just busy, or is your schedule structured in a way that it is taking you closer to your desired destination? You see, most of us have a schedule, but our schedules are not a reflection of our destination. Let me repeat what I'm saying. Until your schedule reflects a pathway towards your desired destination, then you are just keeping yourself busy. People have schedules that are packed for 24 hours, but the question is, after 24 hours, would you say that you have come closer to your desired destination, or you have just had a structured busy day? Productivity is different. If you measure it based on its effectiveness and its efficiency, you need to know the difference. Is your schedule getting you closer to your desired destination? If no, or if you don't have a structure at all, then yours is a completely different ball game. So let me tell you what you need to do. You have 24 hours in a day. What do you do with that 24 hours? Those 24 hours must be broken down into segments that will reflect the things that you must do every day to draw you closer to your desired destination. Number two, they must be things that you have to do, and then there are things that you could do. You have to look at those three categories. The first category is the most important because it takes into cognizance your priorities for that day. And what is a priority? A priority is anything that is time sensitive and is important towards getting you to your desired destination. It is not everything that you have to do every day. There are things that can wait because they are not time sensitive. But there are things that will cost you more if they were to wait for the next 24 hours. There are things that will cost you money, literally, if they are to wait for the next 3 days. What are those things? What are the most important things that will draw you towards your desired destination? Will going to visit your friend add value to you in comparison to going to a business seminar? Those are questions you need to ask yourself. Except if your desired dream is to spend time with your friend, then in that case, you have to flip the table around. But your priorities must be fitted into your day. Now, let me give you a simple sample here. And I think for those of you who are just watching this, if you are having problems with how to manage your time, I will encourage you to make sure that you plan to sign up for one of our private transformation network trainings that is going to be taking place in a city close by, close to you. Now, what are we talking about here? We're talking about how to structure your time, particularly around your priorities. Your priorities must focus around 5 things. Number one, what are the things that are your vocation, the things that add value to you? Number two, because if you're going to be successful, particularly in the area of finances, you need to have steady cash flow. Number two, what are the things that are necessary in developing yourself, meaning that your educational priorities. Every day you must spend an hour or more to study, read a book or something that adds value to you so that you can become an improved version of yourself within 24 hours. Number three, you must make time for restoration, meaning that you have to find time to rest. You need to have time to relax. You have to have time to recharge so that you can be optimal at every point in time. And it is important for you to recharge yourself, particularly nutritionally, so that you can have something to eat and eat the right thing. And number five, make sure that you have time for motion, meaning that you have to move around, exercise, so that you can have continuous blood flow and be your optimal at every point in time. Now, those 5 things are the categories that you must cover within your top priority. priorities. And in those priorities, they differ. What are the things that are most important to you? Maybe business meetings, business decisions, work that you have to do, whatever it is that has to be done within those 5 categories have to fall into within what you call your top priorities, which are your top priorities in the day. Okay, so now you have 24 hours in a day. How many hours do you need to sleep? Most likely you need anywhere from 4 to 6 hours of sleep. If you sleep more than that, you've got to start questioning that. You have to find time to eat, maybe an hour a day, 20 minutes broken down or 30 minutes broken down. If you're the kind of person who likes to spend that time to fellowship with your family, that means you still have at least about 16 hours left. How much of that do you need for your work, your vocation? Anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, depending on the kind of work that you do. In some cases, even up to 12 hours. But if it goes more than 12 hours, are you really sure you're doing that kind of work? Think about it now. So that means you still have about 8 hours per day. If you take 30 minutes in a day to exercise, you still have about 5.5 hours to go. Then you take the remaining 5.5 hours, you take 1 hour to study every day, you have 4.5 hours left. Then you still have about 4 hours left in a day. What are you going to do with it? People keep talking about not enough time. The problem is not an absence of enough time. It's a problem of time management, meaning you have a lot of time, but you don't know where it went. Let me ask you this. Do a simple analysis of your day tomorrow. Take time and make a note of where your time goes. You'll be amazed to see how much hours and how much time you spend on doing things that do not add value to you. Remember when I started this broadcast, the first thing I said was that how to structure your resources for maximum impact, meaning the most important element you have, the most important resource we all have in life is not money, but time. You can lose all of your money, but you can never lose your time as long as you're still alive. Time is the single equalizer that gives us all equality in life. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, purple, blue, green, gray, whatever color of skin you are, whatever part of the world you come from, the one thing we have evenly, we have equally is called time. So my question to you is this: what are you doing with your time? Until you start investing your time, just like anything else that ought to be sown and produces dividends, you will not become a better version of you. So it is important for you to start sowing or start investing your time, because time is a perishable item that once spent can never be recouped. The time that you spent yesterday, it doesn't matter what happens in your future, you will never get it back. But the time that you invested yesterday will reproduce in the future to give you dividends. So my question to you today is, what attention are you giving to your time? What attention are you giving to your time? So that's why I'm starting out this introduction today to talk about how to structure your time. How to structure your time. Now, if you live in a country like Nigeria, then you are more than blessed, because in the months of April, May, and June, I will be having training programs in different cities: Port Harcourt, Yola, Kaduna, Lagos, Abuja, and I think a few other cities around the country. And so I will encourage you to go and visit our website, www.privatetransformation.com, or look for the Facebook group right here, Private Transformation Network, and be sure to join the group so that you can stay informed as to when we are going to have our next training session. You do not want to miss this. So for the next 4 weeks, every single day, I'm going to spend anywhere from 10 minutes, max, maybe 5 to 10 minutes per day, to speak to you about one principle that has helped me over the last 25 years. I will discuss one principle that has helped me over the last 25 years, one principle per day, all right, for the next 4 weeks. So I want to encourage you to please plan to be a part of it, all right? So once again, thank you so much for joining me for this session, and I hope that you've benefited from it. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to push them down there. I will hopefully read them and respond to you as quickly as I can. And be sure to share this video. And for those of you who have questions that you do not feel that you can post on the page, feel free to leave me a message in my inbox. But please, your question has to be very specific. Don't ask me what I ate today or what I am doing and how I am doing. I think you really don't care. It's just a cultural thing. So thank you once again for joining me for a moment, what I call Private Transformation Minutes. And I will look forward to joining you again right about this time tomorrow. Be sure that if you're not my friend on Facebook, be sure to connect, and then that way you'll be notified of when we are broadcasting that. So God bless you, and please share this video to all your friends and even those that are not your friends, so that at least you have less enemies when you become successful in life. God bless you, and I will talk to you tomorrow.